Hey, welcome back to another episode of Suplex Biddies. Episode 19. Changing it up this week. Absolutely. Yes, sir. I could see the look on my friend's face.
Trying to be animated.
I don't know if that was a birthday nut or I don't know what happened there.
Blame it on the alcohol.
Oh, it's 6 o'clock.
Episode 19 in the fucking building, boys. Got myself, the host, Chris Jones. We got Mr. Miami, Diego Galvis, even though he doesn't look like he's been in Miami or Florida at all. With the way he looked like he went from like a light to like a slightly darker. There was no fully darkened for him. Yeah,
I can see it.
We're trying to stay PC here.
Yeah, you kind of started talking. They were like, "Oh, how am I going to get out of this one?"
Mm-hmm. And also, we have wrestling aficionado and messy haired fuck Andrew Hunneman this week.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, not a good look for you, bud.
No,
You got like this side looks like you cut this off and then you woke up and you're like, I'm just gonna leave this up top today. Kiss.
Yeah, I had a hood on. I'm sorry. It was raining when I came home.
Raining. It's nice.
Yeah, not in Charlestown.
Oh.
that's strange because it's been nice out here.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lick of a drop of rain.
Yeah, being that serious.
It's been dry as a camel around here.
Look at the weather. There's severe storm warnings, man.
Oh, well, good. Can't wait to stand in line for the rain tonight.
Can't wait.
Again, we're brought to you by Couch Guy Sports. Please make sure that you are using the internet one time. Go check out all the blogs. Go check out all the podcasts on the network. Go check out everything that has to do with the network. Trust me, it's a good network to get a part of. And also, the Suplex Biddies podcast is brought to you by Exogun. Exogun, the pros use it. Trust. Use code CGS10 at checkoff to get 10% off. Comes with a charger, carrying case. Please go get yourself Exogun because it's a massage at a moment's notice. And boy, does it hit the spot when you desperately need it. Mm-hmm. All right, gentlemen. We got a jam-packed lineup tonight.
A lot of stuff's going on at the moment in the wrestling circles of life. I don't know. It's a great time to be a fan right now. Money in the Bank. WWE was like, look at this fucking momentum. And then
I got money in the bank. Shawty, what you think? Got that money in the bank. Shawty, what you think?
For somebody who's turning a lot older, it's like he's regressing. Like he just went back to the crayons.
Listen, I'm the youngest on this podcast. I
works with kids, dude. That's what happens.
Yeah, that's true.
I will continue to do this because I'm the youngest on this podcast. At least I don't have a 3 in front of my age number, mister.
Hey, listen, at least my haircut doesn't look like I just I don't even know what happened to Hunneman. I
had a hood on. I'm sorry.
I wanted on the record. I paid his landlord $5 to trim a little bit off on the side without noticing.
Yep.
And here we are.
So let's go.
Let's start off. Listen, we'll go so off topic at some point tonight, so just bear with us there. But we're gonna start off Hell in a Cell. Just kidding. Money in the Bank. Wow, Jones. Take a step back. Take a step back.
Dude,
take a step back.
Get it together. My goodness.
Mm-hmm. Take a step back. Yep. Take a step back.
Did you hear that thunder?
Take a step back.
Did you hear that thunder?
Oh, I thought you just farted.
No.
Take a step
put
back.
A hole in the chair, man.
Yeah. Let's regroup and start this over.
No drinking, boys. Bank. This is what happens.
Money in the Bank, guys. That is what we are talking about today. Money in the Bank.
Other things.
Yes.
So yes.
Yeah.
Gotta start there.
We'll start with Money in the Bank. And this is what happened. Shit. So we talked about some of the matches in the card. One match we didn't talk about. Actually, 2 matches we didn't really talk about. Both of the tag team title matches. We have new SmackDown tag team champions in the Usos.
Yep.
And AJ Styles and Omos defended their titles against the Viking Raiders, which they retained, obviously. But let's go over to what we thought. So, the women's Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So we all said originally Becky. But
that didn't happen.
But when Becky wasn't a part, we gave a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Hunneman said Bliss. Diego said Liv. Jones said, and I quote, how WWE would it be if Nikki Ash
You got lucky.
won?
You know it.
You got lucky.
Boom,
You
boom,
got
boom.
extremely
So
lucky.
Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. Yeah,
and,
well, guess what?
I'll say
Hunneman,
this.
Oh, lucky.
Hunneman,
You
guess
got extremely lucky, and I'll say this: if it wasn't for that hideous Canadian moose that Natalia is, beating up Liv Morgan on top of this of the ladder, Liv Morgan would have gotten that. It could have gotten anyway. So you gotta be young lucky.
I mean, buddy, hold the phone. Hold the phone. All I said was, we're so used to having a high Money in the Bank winner and then a Money in the Bank winner no one cares about. And I was like, how WWE would it be if Nikki Ash wins?
Turns
It
out
happened.
they love her.
Turns out behind the scenes, really good at developing her character. And what do? They rewarded.
Yep. They
Must
did.
be Ghost. I think it's
The match itself, though,
nah,
could have been
meh
better.
at best.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot better. But
The
again,
agree
best
with
part of me was the ending, not because it was over, but because every single Money in the Bank match has that same spot with every single person in the match. Just climbs up a bunch of ladders, starts fighting and fighting and fighting. Eventually they all fall, or someone from the outside comes and pushes them all over. This time, they were all going at it. People were all messed up. Alexa Bliss was covered on by some ladders on the outside, and Nikki Ash is just like, okay, and then took it, won, and then everyone was just like, why didn't we think of that? Almost a superhero, dude. That's some intellect right there. I don't know about you guys.
now
I
when we
threw
were
my phone
I got
to
mad.
like Colombia
we-
and back.
we were watching, and my first reaction was, holy shit, you called it. And then I remember looking at the camera in Hunneman's house and basically fucking it. I was like, fuck you. Yeah, I called it. Fuck you.
Our house cameras.
Yeah,
Why would you do that?
because I a
So
lot
much
of
for
people
a
don't
clean
know.
environment. You're
Yeah,
not even
wait,
clean
what?
by your own house.
Yeah, well, guess
My
what?
landlord's gonna see that at some point if he watches the tape back, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's fine. At least I wasn't screaming about calling Roman Reigns winning at WrestleMania.
Oh please. Oh please.
Old news.
Yeah.
So then the WWE title match, which was an absolute squash.
That
Unfortunately,
sucked.
Hunneman, you were not right. Bobby Lashley retained the title,
Yeah,
beat Kofi Kingston. Diego and I both guessed Bobby Lashley, by the way.
I wanted to be different. I had a hunch it wasn't gonna happen. But
The Raw Women's Championship match we had, I had Rhea Ripley retaining, Diego had Rhea Ripley retaining, and Hunneman had, checking my notes, it just says women. Yuck.
that's not what I said. I was sick of the feud, but I'm pretty sure I would have went with Ripley anyway.
It's what I have written down is women yuck, and I gave you the X repeatedly.
That's not the intent at all.
What? Just because Charlotte Flair doesn't have nice boobies, she can't be a wrestler?
Nope, that's someone else that we know that has terrible takes. I was just sick of the feud, so I didn't care. I actually left for the first.
Let's
part
let
of
the man
match.
finish. Let's let
So
the man
Charlotte
finish because that
Flair-
guy's gonna age.
So Charlotte Flair is once again Raw Women's Champion. I think for the fourth time she's a Raw Women's Champion. I think she's a 12-time or 12 or 13-time World
I think it's
Champion of Raw.
13.
It's one of those. God bless WWE. Then finally, we've been talking about this for months, or at least some of us have. But Big E is Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yep.
It's happening. It's finally happening. We all called it. We all knew it. I've been saying it personally since he didn't win the Royal Rumble that he was going to win Money in the Bank. And I was 6 months of fruition, and just having it come together was a chef's kiss. It was a great moment.
They
Hunter
said
and I
that.
hugged.
We
Hunter
did.
and I hugged.
We did. We did. Hug.
Can I just ask something real quick?
Sure.
Is today's episode just Jones betting himself on the back, or is today's episode just actually we're gonna be talking money in the bank and
Well,
what's
it's
really
his
happened?
birthday weekend because he's one of those. So let him get the pats, I guess. Good boy. Proud of you.
Sorry, I'm right about fucking wrestling. Speaking of, by the way, if you haven't checked out our poll on Twitter on who knows the most about wrestling, there was a little bit of controversy behind it, but we're not going to get into that right now.
Wait.
We're
It's
not
not
gonna get
hang on one second.
we're not going to get into that.
No,
Why'd you
you
bring it
brought
up?
it up.
Why'd
You
bring
brought it up. You brought it up, Cupcake. You gotta own up to it.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
I'm
gonna
sorry.
bring anything up. I was gonna let
I'm
it
sorry.
play out.
I'm sorry. I told all my friends to vote for Hunneman because he knows the most about wrestling.
All right, so Sesame Ginger. The poll posted by the Suplex Biddies Twitter account this afternoon at 12:19 on 7/23/21 says the following: which host has the best takes / knowledge of the wrestling biz in your opinion? Get us fired up before recording tonight. Never hurts to have an extra bit of animosity.
Yeah.
62% of the votes are to Diego, 23% of the votes to Hunneman, and 15% of the votes to Jones. There are 13 votes with 2 days and 17 hours left to go. I believe that your whining hour has finished. Let's carry on.
I believe Diego just texted people to vote for him, but that's a different story for a different day.
It's called
You know?
campaigning. Presidential.
I thought you said you didn't care about. You say you didn't care about winning.
Yeah.
But when you put me on blast like that, it's campaigning. Presidential. It's chef's kiss.
It's fine.
Galvis.
Well, Jones, we
Biddies,
just gotta step up.
2024.
We just gotta step
Listen,
up
this is
the
the guy
takes,
who hates Roman Reigns right now. So I can't even. That's already a
This
step
is
down.
the guy who
establishment.
You
likes
will
Goldberg.
acknowledge me, and you will fall in line.
This guy likes Goldberg. Let's just say that right there.
Yeah.
No. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. No, we'll get into it.
Carry on.
I'm neutral when it comes
obviously,
to him.
Obviously, the main event we had Roman Reigns versus Edge. Roman retaining. Hunneman and I called the Tribal Chief retaining. Diego went a little different, called Edge.
Yeah.
But then the end of the match was so basically with Seth Rollins that cost Edge basically the match. Roman hits him with the spear. Roman wins 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins comes in and attacks Edge. Edge and Rollins. Edge looks at Roman, saying, "I'm next." Edge attacks Rollins. Rollins and Edge go outside. Roman says,
They brawl
"Now it's
to the
time."
back.
Roman says, "Now it's time for everybody to acknowledge me." And then all of a sudden, the music hits. I don't see anybody. We get a big return in John Cena.
That was a good time. I clapped very loud for that one.
That was probably one of the biggest pops since Steve Austin came back.
Yep.
All right. So now that we're talking about all of this, I think it's perfect time to start transitioning to full WWE content. So,
I mean, well, yeah, of course. First of all,
because
They had some big
we
returns this week.
because
They
we
had
just
some-
talked about Money in the Bank and how good of a break. I think overall, I don't know if any of us gave it ratings, but for me overall, Money in the Bank was probably the best pay-per-view so far of 2021.
I would
A plus content.
Fans being back helps 100%. And almost all of the matches were bangers outside of Lashley Kingston, which I think a lot of people are still mad about because they think Kofi just kind of got fed to the wolves, even though you hyped him up and all that stuff these last couple weeks. We didn't think he was going to really win. I was hoping he would, but he got.
That was grotesque.
He got real messed up. And he sold like a champ, made Bobby look like $1 million. And because of, leading into what you were saying, Diego, full WWE content going into Monday, you can see why. You have to make him look good going into a specific matchup.
Yeah.
That is seemingly going to happen at SummerSlam.
I just even from the opening parts, like you opened up with the Usos versus the Mysterios, like that in itself is such a good open that just told you exactly what you were in for the whole entire night. You were in for pure great content, and they brought it. I mean, Charlotte Flair winning the title, like we all didn't want that. We wanted Rhea Ripley, and then to see Becky Lynch come up and be like, "Oh, bitch, I'm gonna challenge you for it." No, fuck you, bitch. Kind of stuff. But by the same token, then we saw like Big E finally get his Money in the Bank, which we all wanted that to happen, right?
Talk about a pop too for the crowd,
right? Like the crowd was fired up for that one. Like I didn't think I would hear a loud crowd like that for Big E, just because I feel like he's been so undervalued by WWE. But I think the fans are like, no, we're WWE. We actually recognize where real is at.
It was a good call. It was definitely the right call for that match.
Yeah, and then I mean, just even when Rollins like intercepted the match between Reigns and Edge, like all of a sudden everyone was like, "Oh shit! Like this is happening," I thought for sure it was gonna be turned into a triple threat match. That was like immediately what came to mind. I was like, oh crap, here we go. Here comes one of the management people to come out by Sonny Deville or the other dude that whose name I can't think of right now.
Adam Pearce,
thank you. Here they comes. They gotta change it to a triple threat. Rollins is probably gonna screw Roman again, like he did when he did the heist with Brock Lesnar. Here it comes. But then all of a sudden, like Reigns wins, and I'm like, wait, no, because Edge had you. Like Edge had you beat, dude. You gotta be real about it.
It's true.
Edge had his number.
One funny thing from that match though, when Roman seemingly kicked out when the crowd was chanting the pin. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah.
The referee got knocked down. The crowd went 1, 2, and Roman actually kicked out.
Oh yeah.
No, the ref was coming. The ref was coming down the ramp to come into the ring.
No,
yeah,
that was
he kicked out before the count.
As he slid into the ring, you see Roman's shoulder go up.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
That's pretty
It
solid.
It was just a twitch.
Yeah.
But then now we're talking about like probably the best WWE content we've seen all year long too. Like this has been just a tremendous week overall for wrestling.
Well, I mean,
I can't wait.
The momentum seriously came. Like Money in the Bank started a hell of a friggin' week for everything. Just for everything.
Just for wrestling in general.
Yeah.
But now we're diving into some wrestling hot stove. We got some takes, some rumors that are happening. I think real quick, it's a little bit different this year because SummerSlam is on the Saturday and NXT TakeOver is on that Sunday.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Really?
So they're changing it up this year. And when I was originally looking at it, because it's at the Las Vegas Raiders new stadium, I was seeing if maybe the Raiders Arena. Yeah. I was seeing if maybe the Raiders had a game the Sunday. They do not. So I don't truly understand why SummerSlam they're doing it on Saturday this year.
Maybe they booked it not knowing if they were going to have a game or not and just decided to get it in.
The way that I think of it is if you see like when WWE goes on tour, you see a much bigger outcome of people out of the East Coast than out of the West Coast. And therefore I feel like WWE is predicting for people to travel over the weekend to be there Saturday and then come back home Sunday.
It's a good call. Also very good. Might just be genius business acumen,
Who knows? Maybe they're trying to hit a completely different market on Saturday night rather than Sunday.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing Chris Angel come watch Roman Reigns versus John Cena.
Are there any UFC fights scheduled for that Sunday at Vegas? Because that's when the real crowd actually shows up.
That's a good question. I'll quadruple check that while we talk about some topics and potentially because it's the next UFC is August 7th and it's in Houston, Texas. Literally the only UFC things that they do in their little like training studio, like they have like the empty arena and stuff like that. So
okay.
But
those are the fight nights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
There's one this weekend. There's one tomorrow. Yeah. There's one every weekend.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because they have a deal with ESPN to do that every Saturday night.
Keep pumping it. Yep. There you go.
Try to expand it. But for SummerSlam, it looks like we already have a couple matches that are confirmed. It looks like we're getting John Cena versus Roman Reigns, 100%. Mm-hmm. Looks like we're getting Seth Rollins versus Edge.
Yep.
And it looks like as of Monday night that we're getting Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg.
No, I can't get into it.
I couldn't tell if Diego's getting ready to laugh or if he was getting ready to throw up by your Goldberg noise.
I always think of Big E's podcast tangent that he went on about Goldberg and big meaty man slapping meat. So that's the only thing I can't take it seriously. I don't know if you ever heard that, Diego. I think I've sent you it before.
I mean,
but that man.
So if you ever wanted a good crowd reaction, a good crowd laugh, if let's just say hypothetically, I don't think it's going to happen, honestly. Say Goldberg wins the title off of Lashley. You kick Goldberg versus Big E, and Big E wins the title. Oh man, what a crowd!
That would be
what
phenomenal.
A crowd that would be.
Big meaty crowd that would be. Oh, big meaty men slapping me. Nothing better.
But yeah, no, we had some returns. So we had Finn Balor return to SmackDown on Friday night. which he looks like he's going to be a big part of Friday Night SmackDown. Which
he was smiling too much, just like when he was on the main roster the first time. Like that Edge in NXT when he wasn't very happy-go-lucky. Like I know he's a good guy. That's what they're going for. But the Edge that he just got back in NXT, I really hope they don't go back to just, hey, I'm Finn. I'm happy to be here.
So from what I've read, they're really looking to include him this time around, especially on Friday nights. And Fox executives really want him on TV as much as possible.
Okay.
I
hope that's true because he deserves it. He's phenomenal. He's one of their top 5 workers.
We saw what their ratings were on NXT with him on USA. Another thing that we've seen come up as recently is we saw the returns that happened on Monday. Finally, we got to bask in his glory.
God, I hate the song. His music. And why couldn't you just keep the NXT theme?
Dude, the music does need some major improvement because
people didn't know
like,
what the fuck to do.
I was like, who is it? And then until people like actually saw him come out, that's when people are like, oh shit, that's him.
Yeah.
Oh,
they saw him, or they had the Titantron say Keith Lee, and then there was like, oh shit, he's back. The music. They've changed his song like 4 or 5 different times since they called him up to the main roster last summer, and he's been gone since January at this point. So now it's like, why can't we just hear "Bask in His Glory" at the beginning? Then everyone knows what's about to happen.
Yeah.
He felt like a bigger deal with that music to me. So hopefully it's just not some generic ass theme that you can.
Just WWE's music nowadays, man. Fucking bring back Jim Johnston.
Dude, they're trying to get away from all of it.
This shit sucks.
Yeah. The Roman's theme is pretty good.
The only good theme song we have is Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. That's it.
Yeah. Even Rollins' they've changed like 3 times. It's like, can we just stick with something?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But Keith Lee, can we just talk about that for a minute? So I know we had a little bit of a heated debate on in the chat about this. And so
it was just a matter of time for him to sneak that in there. Go ahead, hang on.
On Monday night.
Hold on. I wear my glasses.
I'm putting protection on.
My glasses.
Monday night though, because we had to talk about it.
Hold on. I'm putting my argument hat on. I'm ready.
Oh, where's Waldo? Oh, is that the Jets? Just kidding. What is that? Does that do your job?
I'm taking it off now. You ruined it. All
right, so Monday night, we were just talking. Keith Lee came out. We were all very excited. Rightfully so, because he's fantastic. We missed the man. He could easily be one of the top performers on that brand if they use him to the proper extent. So the good points coming from it, Lashley offered an open challenge. Keith Lee answered it. So it's his first night back in over 6 months. And the first thing he does is say, hey, WWE champion, I'm coming for you. And he wants to go at him. So he goes at him. They have a match shorter than I hoped, over a little bit more abruptly than I had hoped. So like, it's good that they brought him back and had him make a stand against their top guy, but it felt like a placeholder to have him just do that and then just roll out of the ring, be forgotten about, to then let Billy Goldberg pop in. And the fans love him. Like, you can't deny that. I call it the casual fans, so don't get mad at me. Casual fans love Bill Goldberg, and he is a star. He was a star in the 90s. The guy is an enigma. When he comes out, he gets the attention of the room. But every single time this dude comes back now for his matches, they last 5 to 8 minutes. And all it is just a finisher fest where it's like they just keep spearing each other, hitting maybe a couple jackhammers, going through a barricade. And it's chaos. Don't get me wrong. It's a full-on sprint, but Goldberg's winded within like a minute, and then the other opponent is just carrying him and just pushing him through a bunch of shit. And then he gets up, hits a spear, and like, oh shit, he's gonna do it. But it's like he just got beat up for 3 minutes because he couldn't actually keep his wind. So for me, it doesn't. I get it because you need a big draw based on especially all the other stuff that's been coming out this week. You need some big names for SummerSlam. You got to counter all the other stuff. But I just want to know: do you guys think that they wasted Keith Lee? And do you think they could have just slotted in somebody like a Jeff Hardy earlier on for the open challenge?
Hold on. Let me get my debate belt. All right. Ready to debate. Hardcore debater right here. Let's go. Ready to
Master
debate.
Debater. There you are.
Yeah, I'm ready to debate. They fucked Keith Lee already by bringing him back just to have him get squashed by Bobby Lashley.
So I think people toss the squash term around way too often. There's a difference, I think, between a squash and a match. That was borderline because a squash is basically someone gets in the ring, mid-offense. Your pure reason is to get in there and put somebody over. I still think Keith Lee got a little more offense and had a bit of a competitive match. Definitely wasn't enough, but it's right on the cusp. But I know what you mean because a lot of people were saying they squashed Keith Lee. What the hell? Like, what the hell? Who did he piss off? Is what everybody wants to know. So I don't know. I'm with you, Jones. I feel like Diego's the I don't want to say the odd man out, but he's the altering perspective. So we're gonna have to let him chime in when you are finished. I apologize. Go ahead.
It's just you have this guy that has his personal stuff, he has all the stuff that's happening. You bring him back to not only in his hometown, you bring him out in his hometown.
Hometown, home state, whatever the hell it was. Texas.
Whatever
like,
it was.
Big boy.
He's from Texas. You bring him back just for him to get a couple cool pops in, and then you just let Bobby Lashley kill him.
One spear.
Basically, low-key just turned Keith Lee into a jobber. And Keith Lee was fantastic in NXT. If you're not going to use him, put him back. I'm just getting sick and tired of these quality guys that come up from NXT, that come up to the main roster, and they just fucking sit there and they don't fucking do anything. It's annoying. It's ridiculous. I'm sick of it.
You must have loved what happened to Karrion Kross.
We'll get into that afterwards.
Yeah. But, Diego, carry on. So let us. What do you think? I know you have a different opinion. So Jones thinks it was a squash. I just think it was personally a waste. I don't think it was a squash. It was good that he came back. He showed some fortitude, challenging the champion. But what about yourself?
Okay, so I just want to make sure I use the correct words. So I'm thinking through my English dictionary that it's very minimal.
Bilingual or trilingual? How many languages do you speak, that guy?
Quadrilingual.
God, that's amazing.
Yeah. Anyways.
Don't pipe him up.
Sorry.
Don't pipe him up, he says. All right. So here's where I go. It's great that Keith Lee came back, and it's great that he came back in his hometown in front of his home crowd to give him that extra oomph of confidence as like, you belong in this product and there is a bright future ahead of you. I'm grateful for that. And if there's anybody happier for Keith Lee to come back, I would say I'm probably in line for one of the happy people that were happy about him, because I think I remember I texted you guys in the chat, holy shit, it's Keith fucking Lee. Like, I went off on Twitter because I was that excited for Keith Lee. However, problem that I have with him coming back and challenging Bobby Lashley on there is that physically he showed a lot of ring rust and he is just not there. We know Keith Lee can last a lot longer. We know he's a physical concept driver when it comes to his performances, and we know the type of performances he can deliver. He was not fully in there. I think the moment in itself ate him faster than he could eat the moment.
Yeah.
And therefore he choked and he couldn't deliver what he's known for delivering here. I think if I'm WWE and if I know that Raw right now is continuing to struggle as they have been struggling and we've talked about here, I think I take the opportunity of the fact that I just brought out Karrion Kross from the NXT and allow for Keith Lee and Karrion Kross to develop a storyline that would actually be sensational to watch, because it's two major NXT stars that created their fame because of their allow for old school to learn from the new school and new school to really take over, because I agree with you guys. It's tiring to see some of these old stars continue to come back. Like Edge, how old is Edge at this point? Yeah, he's fantastic. He's a great star to watch, but he's old at this point. John Cena is old as well. He's a great star. People love him and all that stuff, but he's old. It's time for new school, right? When The Undertaker used to come back every single time, whenever somebody wanted to have a big challenge, like, the dude is old. Time for him to retire. Therefore, Roman Reigns retired him, as he says. Brock Lesnar, it's an old tiring product that people don't really care much for. Yeah, he still comes back, still drives an audience, and therefore he comes back. I think it's exactly the same that they're doing here with Goldberg by bringing him back, because you no longer have the Undertaker, who actually created a louder pop, in my opinion. Whenever he returned, it created a much bigger audience. And I think you guys could agree with that. But because people don't really care much for having Brock Lesnar back into WWE, the only one that I could say it's an intimidating factor there available left, if it's not John Cena, if it's not Edge, well, unfortunately it's Goldberg, because WWE fucked over CM Punk and doesn't want to bring him back. Otherwise, I can guarantee you that if it was CM Punk coming back to challenge Bobby Lashley, I think our whole demeanor would be a lot different, because we haven't seen CM Punk back in WWE in so long, and people want to see him back. Like, in fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, during Money in the Bank, there was chance for saying CM Punk.
Oh, always, yeah.
Mistaken.
Oh, anytime there's a live audience, it always breaks out at some point.
So that's where I'm headed. Like, it's not that I think that Goldberg's return is overshadowing Keith Lee. I think, if anything, it's a stepping stool there for two great stories that could be developed. Goldberg's story versus Bobby Lashley is not going to last long. And knowing WWE, it could very well be exactly what you just said earlier, Jones, that Big E all of a sudden comes out of nowhere, slapping mean, beats the fuck out of Goldberg, and he retains the title. It could very well be it. It's WWE. That's exactly what they do. But don't be pissed off about Goldberg overshadowing Keith Lee, because the two and two just don't tie up together at all. Keith Lee just came back in front of his home crowd because it was necessary for him to be in that right mindset to say, all right, this is where I want to be back to. Because otherwise, honestly, with the performance that he delivered, personally, if I was managing WWE, I would have brought him back to NXT, because he's just not that ready for WWE, for Raw. If I was...
You mean currently because of ring rust, or in general?
Yeah, no, currently because of the ring rust.
Okay,
like just, that performance he delivered, that he delivered on that Monday, just wasn't him. We know he can deliver a much better product. But if I'm a Raw fan and I want to see a bigger audience finally start to show up to the episodes every week, unfortunately, guys, whether you like it or not, Goldberg is your guy, unfortunately, and that's just what it is. It's not that I'm thrilled about Goldberg coming back. Yeah, because again, I said it before, the old folks coming back is just an old tool that they overutilize way too much.
So played out.
But in itself, it's just it makes sense.
I'd rather watch Bobby Lashley face the three of us.
I mean,
I'd bump for that man. Okay,
but I will say this: like, how tired were we of the continuous story between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley?
Very. So can I counter your point to saying Goldberg's the guy?
Sure.
So
quick question. If you want off topic for 30 seconds.
No, why?
Do you guys remember when Bobby Lashley held this?
How many belts you got?
Good. You want me to keep pulling them out? Because that's all I've been doing. Sure. Yeah, keep talking. I keep pulling them out.
All right. So for the Goldberg thing, Diego. So I agree with you. So again, casual fans is what. So there's obviously the hardcore, diehard fans, such as ourselves. I would say.
Yeah.
We love just anything and anything that's wrestling. The casual fans love Goldberg. The only thing that bugs me, so all the guys you named, Brock Lesnar, to a lesser extent, but Edge, John Cena, all them, when they came back, they've stuck around for every week of TV.
Yeah. I agree with you there.
John Cena's been one that's there every week. He has openly said, "Hey, I don't want to just pop in every couple weeks and then get a huge match."
He hates being a part-timer. I agree with you wholeheartedly there. But like,
so
Brock Lesnar, for example, and Undertaker, they don't come back full-time. They come back part-time. That's exactly where Goldberg is headed.
So that's the thing that I don't like about Goldberg is like he's a quick fix for your ratings right now. With what's going on, it's not long-term, because how many times now have we had outside of him beating Dolph Ziggler? What summers, like 2-3 SummerSlams ago?
Yeah, I think so.
When's the last time he won like a match?
Yeah, I don't know.
I have to look it up. I actually don't know. But like, so he still has that mystique. When he comes back, you get excited. You say, "Oh my God, holy shit, it's Goldberg!" But his last match, he got beat by Drew McIntyre.
Can I answer that question? Actually, honestly,
yeah.
Because Kevin Owens.
Oh, that's
Before
right. He
that-
did have a match with.
I think
Kevin
that's
Owens.
the last time
That's the
I
last
remember him
match.
winning.
Yeah, I that's
when he
a
won
good
the
point.
Universal title before his match with Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Which happened before Ziggler.
Actually, no,
no.
that's a lie. You know, the last time Goldberg has won? When he fucking took the title off the Fiend.
Oh yeah. Okay. See, stuff
That's the
like
last
that.
time he fucking won.
Okay.
Because my fucking character, can't lose to this guy. Fuck you, dude. That's why I don't like him. I fucking remember now. Fuck you, Goldberg.
So again, he's
you.
an enigma. He deserves to get those main event spots. I don't think he's one of those guys, especially the part-timers, that don't need championships.
He hasn't been an enigma since 2004.
Did you hear
But
the pop he got?
Fuck him.
I know that's the thing. Like
I
he
agree.
drives that pop. That's the thing. You can't. You can tell him to go fuck himself all you want.
Brock
Jones,
Lesnar got
I-
a bigger pop when he came back in 2012 against John Cena.
Jones, I hate to tell you this, but one spear from Goldberg will put you to sleep for the end of your life.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say.
Come on, dude, that's a fake move, and you know it.
One spear is all it takes.
We'll pull the Bret Hart and wear the brass plate so he knocks himself out.
But
Spears
so,
him.
Plan.
so here's what I say though. What if we're taking this the incorrect route, and what if we were to think a little bit outside of the box and think of it as the following perspective? Maybe this is the last time we see Goldberg back because he wants to motivate.
Sorry. Last time we see Goldberg back. Not a chance.
Was that a tick?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
That was
Sister Abigail just showed up out of nowhere. Yeah. I'm thinking this could be potentially, if not the last, one of the last appearances that we'll see of Goldberg, because maybe this appearance is for Keith Lee to be even far more motivated in the case that, God forbid, that match, instead of being Bobby versus Goldberg, turns into a triple threat where Keith Lee is far more healthy and can actually deliver a good performance. And maybe that is where Keith Lee just wins it all. I wouldn't be opposed to that storyline.
So
I really wouldn't
Diego,
be.
One thing I'm going to say to you right now
That's not happening.
is if you just talked Keith Lee into a triple threat match, I'm going to kiss you.
Yeah, I would too.
I'm going to kiss you. But I know Vince, I know WWE, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
We're going to get Bobby versus Goldberg. It's going to be 5 minutes of them just fucking spearing each other. And then they're both going to be laying. Big E's going to come down with his music, slap Goldberg's meat, and win the fucking title.
I'm all in for the meat slap.
What we're
I
getting.
love the meat slap.
Now, the only other thing that I can think of too is WrestleMania this year wasn't all that. It wasn't great of a turnaround as they were expecting it. This is the opportunity for SummerSlam to actually be that revenue driver, so that when it creates that revenue driving factor of things, there is Survivor Series, and maybe that is where Keith Lee catches it.
I'm still calling for Keith Lee to win the Rumble, which I think is still very much.
It could very
table.
well be. Yeah, I agree with that.
It just felt like he got overshadowed, which is too bad because I think you could have put anyone in that Lashley spot to have that match.
I mean, even Karrion Kross, I was expecting personally.
That's who I thought it was.
Personally, that's who I was expecting. That's personally who I was expecting.
We've spent a lot.
Every second of what Karrion Kross got on Monday Night Raw. Every second.
Fuck Jeff Hardy. Oh, fuck that old guy. Oh, no, fuck you, Jeff. Fuck you, Jeff.
Every second.
We spent a lot of time on Goldberg and stuff. We should definitely just talk about that one real quick. People are not happy.
Fucking beautiful. Fuck that Braun Strowman wannabe. No fucking Scarlet Bordeaux. No fucking anything. Yuck.
Half the mystique is gone.
Gross.
I don't think he's that good. Bordeaux definitely helps with his gimmick. And the storyline is just so they announced it on Twitter saying, "Hey, Karrion Kross is going to debut tonight." So they had it so people got a little bit of hype about it instead of it being a surprise, which is what I think a lot of us thought was going to just be the open challenge for Goldberg. Like even if he loses or you just have someone interfering, it's a disqualification. Like he gets thrown out the window. You protect both guys. The Jeff Hardy thing, you just made it all right. So Karrion Kross hadn't been beaten in NXT. And you just made it so Jeff Hardy pinned him with like a freaking roll up. And you just put Jeff Hardy in turn over the entire NXT roster. And the last thing Jeff Hardy's done was beat Cedric Alexander on Raw like 3 months ago and almost retire for whatever reason. So like it just I don't get it. Like it was everyone on the internet saying, "Oh, it's a statement from Vince saying NXT's developmental. When you get to us, like who cares? We're gonna do whatever we want." What is the point? That to me is that's a waste. Like, what are you doing? You ripped his originality. You put him in there, and then you have him talk to like every time he talks, his aura goes away more and more.
Not only that, but you just mishandled that whole entire situation itself. For a while now, you've been making it seem as like WWE's third leg is NXT, and what you just did right there, it made it look more like it's a minor league. If you want to care about NXT, you can care, but if you don't want to, please just worry about Raw and SmackDown only. It's like you created this phenomenal product in NXT, and now you just dumping it a waste with an old timer that one roll up. Like what?
I love Jeff Hardy. His new music is back. Everyone's been clamoring for that. It was the music from when he had his biggest push as a singles guy, so that's great.
And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of respect for Jeff Hardy too. His career is absolutely outstanding, but it's just like, what are you doing with this product?
Well, then you have NXT this week, and then you have him go back, and it's just like I don't think anybody brought it up. He's just back in his main feud. He took out like William Regal, and him and Samoa Joe just are headed towards squaring off. But you telling me after losing to Jeff Hardy, he can come back to NXT and Joe can even like take him seriously for a minute? It's like they almost like made it so they wanted to separate Raw and SmackDown from NXT to such a severe degree.
Yeah, and even the way that they brought him up.
Yeah,
it was just so poorly mishandled because you teased about it on Twitter like maybe hours before it actually even happened. It was
like an hour.
Yeah, it was like Vince McMahon was like, "Oh fuck, I had an idea last week. Oh shit, hey, do me a favor, Uber driver. Can you go pick up Karen Cross?
Send Cross out there. Cross out there. Like, what?
Yeah, I'm just like, what in the hell are you doing?
Yeah." Who knows where that one goes from here? But they had Jeff Hardy cheat a little bit to win because he like held the ropes. So I don't know if they're signaling some type of a heel turn for Hardy. But then there is potential to rectify it. But in all turns, I mean, I think we could all agree that Monday they're going to have a match, and he's probably just going to decimate Jeff Hardy.
So let me ask you guys this: what is the actual storyline you see Karen Cross on Monday Night Raw for?
I don't know.
Don't know. There isn't one.
He still doesn't do it for me. You need Bordeaux with him.
Yep.
He needs to just be there, mean mug, and suplex the shit out of people. He can't be talking. He can't be doing whatever the hell this is.
And that's why I said what I said earlier. For Keith Lee, like there's also you got Bobby Lashley there full time and Keith Lee there full time. But what if maybe they just have Goldberg just throwing mic bombs, right? During this whole entire time for the temporary run until SummerSlam, having his little moments, what does that do to Keith Lee's confidence? It just drops it because the guy's just not fully that ready yet. So how do you develop him to be fully ready? You have somebody like Karen Cross, who's a cocky, arrogant little fucking prick out of NXT, and you just beat the living crap out of him. That's to me the only obvious move I could make if I was WWE, because you just fumble both returns. I agree. The way that they handle Keith Lee was fumbled, but in a way it's just to rebuild his confidence because, again, just that performance wasn't there. We know Keith Lee is so much better than that. I mean, I love Keith Lee when he was in NXT and even when he came to WWE. Like, he was phenomenal. But the Keith Lee that I saw on that Monday, I was just like, oh,
he's got to work his way back into shape. That's for sure.
Yep. I was like, oh, I'm worried about him.
Yeah.
2 moves and he was winded.
It did look like it.
So
speaking of NXT, I've read some reports today about the next couple NXT showings that might be worth noting.
Okay.
Well, one of their take SummerSlam weekend got announced, and I am incredibly hyped for that one. Did you see?
You want to announce it?
Yeah, so it's gonna be Walter. I'm gonna say his name wrong, but it's Dragunov. I think what's his first name? It starts with an I. I'm gonna say it wrong, but it's Irsla Dragunov or something. I forget what it is. The last name is Dragunov. They had a UK championship match months ago that was absolutely fucking incredible. They beat the absolute shit out of each other, and Dragunov just taking all those chops from Walter.
Ilya Dragunov.
Ilya Dragunov. Okay.
Yeah, gotcha. I gotcha.
How do you fucking mess up Ilya?
I thought it started with an I, doesn't it?
Yeah, but he spells it different than most Ilyas do. Like Ilya spell it Ilya, and he spells it Ilja. So
what a dweeb.
I can see that.
No, but they decided they pushed that match because Walter hurt his hand. And so luckily he doesn't have to drop the championship, but they pushed it to TakeOver weekend. And that match it's the second time they're gonna meet. I don't think he's gonna like dethrone Walter by any means, but if it's anything like their first one, which was a 5-star match, if I'm not mistaken, if you like listening to those ratings from Meltzer and Wrestling Observer and all that stuff, it's gonna be the co-main event, hopefully, and it's just gonna be an absolute banger. And you're gonna see two dudes beat the absolute shit out of each other.
Well, that's pretty good.
It's gonna be tough to top that.
I'm gonna share a couple of takes that I just saw from Denise Zato, who is a TV host and producer for Fightful Wrestling TV and a bunch of others. She's pretty good at it. Here's some predictions that she just dropped, and I kind of don't hate them. Samoa Joe defeats Cross at TakeOver 36. Yep. Joe becomes NXT World Champion. Walter will defeat Dragunov at TakeOver 36, therefore to retain the NXT UK title. Samoa Joe beats Walter, champion versus champion, to unify belts. I don't hate these takes.
Samoa Joe beats Walter? Interesting.
No, Samoa Joe versus Walter. Jesus, wow.
Okay. I was gonna say that. I would love to see
Walter beats him to unify. I don't hate that.
I love these takes.
Yeah.
So for the next couple of weeks for NXT, we're getting a return. Hunneman.
Of
Diego.
Talk to us.
Remember back when that random guy attacked Adam Cole, and
Yes.
then the next week on NXT he tore everything.
Yeah.
Reg Holland is coming back.
Oh, is he back already?
He's back.
I say already, but it's been a long time.
Yes, he's back, and he is quote unquote aligning himself with Pete Dunne and Oney Larkin.
Ooh, because Danny Burch is out. Okay. Interesting.
So that's one thing.
God, that Reg Holland injury, I'm so glad he's going to be able to come back, man. That was fucking
did not look good. He looks like he has some potential. The second one is Hunneman. I know you and I have 100% had this conversation before, and hearing that it's coming to fruition. So basically what's happening is Raquel Gonzalez is going to be in the ring talking about her accomplishments, about how no one's going to take the title off of her with Dakota Kai in her corner. Dakota Kai hits it from behind. Dakota Kai stands over her with the NXT Women's Championship and is her next challenger for NXT TakeOver.
Okay.
Dakota Kai versus Raquel Gonzalez. NXT TakeOver.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I'd love to see it. That story has to come to a head at some point.
Yeah.
And why not? That's long-term booking if I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
So
I would agree with
and
that.
if I'm not mistaken, and I probably might be wrong when I say this, but I think Dakota Kai beats her.
Really?
I think Dakota Kai beats her and Raquel works her way up to the main roster because they desperately need women up there.
They talked. She has been doing some tryouts too. That could be a thing.
Yeah.
They really might purge NXT a bit, huh? Because Bronson Reed's supposed to get up there. We just saw Cross on Raw. Yeah. Interesting. Hey, it's gonna be a great. I hope they can ride this momentum because it's shaping up to be a hell of a weekend for content.
You ready for NXT World Champion Isaiah Swerve Scott?
Yes, I am. You're goddamn right, I am.
Hit roll, baby.
They're incredible, dude.
They're great. But no, those are the two NXT things that I have read that will be happening within the next couple of weeks.
I just know it's Tony Tough Nut Friday. We got Tony. We got Tony on SmackDown tonight, and we got Tony Storm on NXT tonight.
Yeah, she's debuting tonight, allegedly, according to Twitter. Tony Storm will make her SmackDown debut.
Yeah.
Along with Shotzi and Knox. So they're getting a lot of those are all women that could be a world champion in their division. So we'll see how they play with this wealth of riches.
And an additional rumor that has been fully confirmed by a very reliable source on Twitter is that The Rock will be back at Survivor Series.
Yep. Which is
Brock.
the big reason. So that leaked, and I'm sure they wanted to keep that a secret. But we all know why that may have leaked, correct?
Yes.
So
We should wrap up here because this is the biggest news the industry has had in what feels like a decade.
So
Yes.
let's talk. Let's talk. So,
which is ironic because a certain person left about a decade ago.
So let me talk. So, if you've been living under a rock the past couple of weeks, shame on you, because there were rumor speculations that Daniel Bryan, aka Bryan Danielson, was going to be joining AEW.
Yep.
Apparently, Daniel Bryan has signed the dotted line. Bryan Danielson is now officially All Elite.
Seemingly confirmed by what Diego mentioned to us today, and I had seen in the interwebs. WWE sent a memo to seemingly 2K, the game developer for WWE 2K22, saying to remove Daniel Bryan from their upcoming game. So, I mean, I get it because you probably don't want to be paying royalties to someone that's not with your company.
Yep.
But that's a big hit for the game fans. Like one of the most recent WWE games was based around Daniel Bryan's career. And it was one of the more well-renowned ones in 2K19. So you just lost quite a bit of momentum, you could say. But carry on, Jones. What were you going to say?
So then we got a little glimpse of something last night on a certain person's Instagram story. CM Punk dropped some heat last night.
Bill Brooks, the UFC fighter? Is that that the same guy? Is that the same guy?
Yep. So he dropped just a quick Instagram story using the song.
Mm-hmm.
And today,
do you happen to have that song queued up, Jones, for the fans? Could I? You want me to? Or
I got it.
I mean, I got it. The DJ's got it too.
DJ's got it too. I can imagine. I mean, I want to hear everyone, like, if we could play this a little bit and take in like 10, 15 seconds of it and just get your immediate reaction when you saw it. Because I know what I thought. A couple of my friends texted me about it, and we all had a very similar thought. And I'm just trying to kill time while you pull up the song, as we know.
It's Diego, you're the DJ. Pull up the song. Pull up the song.
I thought you were doing it.
I was, and then I had.
I thought you were doing it too. I'm like, okay.
I'm sorry. I had something that popped up on my phone, and I got distracted. I won't lie. So I'll let Diego pull it up for us here. But
I mean,
I'm working on it.
I got it. You guys want me to? Do you want me to do it? You got it? You got it?
Nope. That's not it.
It's Cult of Personality.
No,
that's not. That's
oh no, not quite. But there was
Hunneman, do the thing, please.
But the thing that we were discussing, I don't know if you guys might have heard, but there was a nice little black frame on CM Punk's Instagram with just a little bit of Alan Parsons Project sprinkled.
Oh, okay.
And this is from the soundtrack of The Last Dance and many other things. And everyone seemingly jumped to conclusions and said, hey, CM Punk is talking about coming back for his last dance. And I don't know about you guys, but this song hyped me up something fierce. I had to take my, blood pressure and everything to make sure I wasn't having a moment. It was, I don't know about you guys. I got excited and then seemingly almost immediately confirmed that he was in negotiations with AEW. And then as of today, not 100% confirmed yet, but seemingly like 99.9% confirmed, he has signed a contract with AEW as of this morning. So if you're going to tell AEW just pulled Bryan Danielson, which is what he'll probably go back to his old name, and CM Punk in the same week. And my God, that is just, how long have we been waiting for CM Punk, Diego? Jones? Anybody?
10 years.
10 years? Literally?
9 years, something like that.
Literally? 7 years? What are we going into that with? Obviously, everything else is great. The Rock coming back, Survivor Series, potentially to start a feud with Roman Reigns going into WrestleMania.
So it seems like 5 hours ago, CM Punk has officially signed a dotted line with AEW, according to Ringside News.
until I see that All Elite tweet that says CM Punk is All Elite with the graphic, I'm gonna hold my breath because I don't want to get too overexcited.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting a little bit, buddy.
Sensory overload. So who knows when he's gonna pop out? It might be at All Out when a couple of your boys are gonna be in attendance in Chicago, allegedly, as long as we can book that fucking flight. But if I know we had a poll.
I won't lie, Hunneman, I won't lie to you. Even if we can't book that flight, we can sell those motherfuckers. Serious change.
If we do some resale value.
Have you seen the resale value right now?
I haven't. It's in like 200s, 300s. Yeah. Hey, so
continue.
But so I would just like to know. I know we posted a poll on the Biddies Twitter. Had a decent little turnout, but it was my question. I framed it a little bit favoritive towards a certain Hangman Page, but see, intentionally, it's just media framing. I was taught that in college. With them,
you listened in college?
I did. I got a degree in listening to people. If you see CM Punk coming back, you see Daniel Bryan coming back, seemingly around the same time frame, with this big storyline with Hangman Page, seemingly going to be the one to dethrone Kenny Omega, take out the Elite. How do you intertwine all of these breaking developments? What would you guys hope that they do in AEW if confirmed Bryan and CM Punk are headed their way?
So my thing is saving CM Punk for All Out. He's not coming out to All Out.
So I think he's going to do it the Dynamite before All Out, because if he comes out, people are going to say, "Oh shit, he's back," and then tune in and buy the pay-per-view, and it might give him some boost. They have to tread quite lightly. It's going to be interesting how they book it, because there's some different ideologies behind it. But I'm with you where I think everyone would be expecting Cena at Money in the Bank. But it's Chicago. You can't beat a CM Punk pop in Chicago in a wrestling arena, in a wrestling show. Carry on, Jones. I'm sorry. I'm too excited.
And then I read that they're not in a rush to get Daniel Bryan, and I think they're doing one, and I think it's Flushing in New York. I think they're doing it at Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Queens or Flushing, whatever you want to call it.
I think that's where we will see the debut of Bryan in AEW. And I think, and it's only a couple weeks. It's not like a big.
It's like early October, I believe.
I think that what we're gonna get is, I think, for me personally, I just see him. I see Bryan Danielson coming out. I just see him right off the bat feuding with Miro in that mid-card title feud right there off the bat. And with All Out, I see CM Punk basically coming out, looking at Kenny Omega like, let's do this one-on-one. Basically kind of costing him the title, having Page win the title, and then literally the main event of the next pay-per-view, you have CM Punk versus Kenny Omega. Punk beats Omega. Omega gets his time off, which he desperately needs. And you have CM Punk, and you can do whatever you
win at that point for now.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. My only thing that I think is going to happen with Punk that I can now see if he gets involved with that Omega match. Obviously, you're going to have some shenanigans from the Elite, because it's a championship match that Omega's in. The Dark Order as well will also be there to try to help prevent that. But wouldn't it be some shit if a masked man of sorts came in when there was all this other chaos going on and allows Hangman Page to pick up the victory over Omega distracts Omega or does something. Hangman hits a buckshot 1, 2, 3. Hangman gets his moment, but then you get Kenny Omega in the ring trying to figure out what happened. And then you get the masked man popping up in the ring, and then he just goes, and then it's CM Punk. I don't know, man.
Did you have that dream last night?
I just had it right now as an epiphany, honestly.
Oh my goodness.
But that masked reveal, try to be descriptive, but they have so many ways they can put it. The thing that I like your idea with Danielson and Miro, the Punk thing, I think you got to bring him back in and ease him back in, unless he's been training to get off the ring rust, but because he has been away for 7+ years.
Yeah.
So Daniel Bryan only had his last match a couple months ago. So the ring rust isn't going to be as severe.
I think one of the big things is, if you think of CM Punk's been training UFC and mixed martial arts. So it's not like he hasn't been training or anything like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's just getting him back within the ropes, I think, was the big thing, but I think they'll be fine with it, honestly.
Yeah. What about yourself, Diego, as we wrap this up?
So I have a two-part question. Number one, no, it's actually a one-part question. Number one,
One of one, yes.
with CM Punk returning to the ring, does that stir up speculations that we could potentially see AJ Lee back to the ring as well? Considering
I'm
that
sure.
two of them hadn't considered returning to the ring unless one of them decided to make the move. Could AJ Lee be on the return towards WWE? Who could use her? Could she be at NXT?
Very well could.
Or could she be at AEW? Personally, I think she goes to NXT where she could become a kind of like an inspiring factor for some of these NXT members.
Mhm.
I'm not sure that she's made for Raw or SmackDown at this current moment because both brands have a really good development of the women's aspect of things.
Right.
But NXT, I wouldn't mind that. And the second part is with Danielson and Punk going to AEW, who's do you think that the Fiend wouldn't be going to AEW too?
Who?
The Fiend.
So he hasn't been released or anything yet, but no one knows what the hell's happening with him. I mean, I'd love to see Bray Wyatt or Mike. What is it? Is his real name Mike Rotundo? Something like that. Whatever his real name is, because I don't know if Bray Wyatt's copywritten by WWE or not, but him getting the creative freedom that AEW seems to be promising to all these new hirees would be some must see content, must see television. Best case scenario, yeah, I would love to see it if he actually gets the release. I mean, WWE's talking about bringing back Strowman now because they got to counter all these.
They're pissed off about Danielson and Punk. Yep.
Danielson and Punk, so they're going to try to bring him back. And
I mean, the reason Punk is not back to WWE is, let's be honest, it's one person only. It's called Triple H.
Yeah, exactly. And that there was never been resolved seemingly. And you're right.
Say that again.
Triple H.
That's not how you say it.
Did you say Triple H?
Play the tape back. Triple H.
Rewind.
Fuck you, Triple H.
Triple H. Leave him alone. He speaks 4 languages, all right?
I could insult you in your own whatever you call yourself, which is you claim to be
final takes out. End the fucking episode. Let's go.
You claim to be Italian, but you're faker than a dollar bill these days.
I'm Irish Italian. Leave me the fuck alone. I got the Irish skin. Yeah, honey. All right, yeah.
Is that what it is? I thought you just didn't go outside, but
I can't. I fucking physically can't. I'm gonna get sun poisoning everywhere.
To wrap it up, this is a hell of a time to be a wrestling fan. Crowds are back. Everyone's building momentum. All these big names are coming back, and at least for the AEW ones, Bryan and Punk all seem to be coming back full time. They don't know if they'll wrestle every week, but they'll be a regular staple on television, much like Sting. And I am exacerbated. Is that a word? Jubilant? Something like that.
I'm stoked for wrestling.
Some crazy adjective. Yeah, stoked. That works. I like stoked. There's so much to look forward to. We're gonna keep out there. We're gonna keep y'all informed, and we appreciate y'all. And keep it coming. Keep it tight. Oh no, I can't say that. That's a different thing.
Shut the fuck up! You do it every week. You can't say it. He's gonna come for us.
Good. We're friends. Remember, we bonded that one time.
Again, big thank you to Couch Guy Sports. Big thank you to our sponsor Exogun for allowing us the platform to be able to talk to you guys about the graps, especially when the graps are good. The graps are good.
Remember that. That is a big thing to remember.
From all of us, from now it looks like sweaty head Andrew Hunneman. We got
just the light, dude.
We got ring finger Diego over there, and myself, the host Chris Jones, signing off, and we'll see you guys next week for episode 20.
Keep it tight, everybody.